Hi, First Step friends and families. I just wanted to say hi to everybody and want to tell everybody that I miss them and I cannot wait to see you guys again. But until then, I have brought us a fun little science craft / activity for us to do. I am showing you a smaller version of what I've made. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the ocean and the multiple layers, and yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to show you some of the materials, or I'm going to show you the materials I used in making this. If you would like to try this at home with a parent's help, the things you will need is a jar. It can be a small or large one. A jar. I will also link in the description a link to how to do this too, like instructions, step-by-step instructions. But you will need corn syrup, dish soap, alcohol, food coloring, and vegetable oil and water. That's about all you'll need. But like I said, I'll link that down below. So let's get started. This is super fun. I've already made one, which you will see, but I will show you on this smaller version. It's in a bigger jar. Okay, so first things first, I have corn syrup in here, and I have put in a lot of blue food coloring, and I just mixed it up until it became this nice dark color. That's going to be our first layer of our ocean. We're talking about the 5 layers of the ocean, and we'll get in a little bit about the other layers, but until then, this is the bottom layer. It is the darkest layer of the ocean, and it is called the trench. And I'm going to show you on my big version the labels. So this is my bigger version. So our bottom layer is called the trench, and put that down there. Yay, isn't that exciting? So to make our second layer, we will need dish soap, preferably the color blue. Actually, it kind of needs to be the color blue because of the ocean. But I'm going to add it slowly. So each layer you go up, you're going to need to add just a little slow, more slow. So I'm going to pour this in. Just a nice little drizzle. You don't want the 2 layers to mix. All right, so I'm currently making our second layer, and it is out of dish soap. And this layer of the ocean is called the abyss. It's right above the trench. It's not nearly as dark as the trench, and so you'll hopefully here soon be able to see a nice line. I can see it from here, but the light's coming through. Oh, you can kind of see it. It's going to be our next layer. Right. Which is called the abyss. Boop. The abyss. All right, so we're moving on to our third layer of the ocean. But isn't this cool? Can't you see the clear division between the 2 layers that I have here, between the trench and the abyss? So for our third layer, you're going to use just some water with just a little bit of blue coloring, okay? So we can just see a shade different between our next layers, okay? Now this one is super important. You're gonna need to put it in super slow, because water and dish soap make bubbles, and we're going to try not to make as many bubbles as possible. So just very slowly, I'm going to pour in this blue water. As less bubbles as possible is what we're going for. But here soon, we will be able to see the next layer. I think my water is just a little too dark, but you can see now there is a third layer here. Okay, and that layer is called midnight. All right, add our next layer to our big jar. All right, that is our third layer to our ocean layers. So Unfortunately, it doesn't look as good as my big one because the water in my cup isn't light enough. So the dishwashing soap is a little lighter blue than my water was. So just make sure that you make your water barely blue, okay? So moving on to our next one. Our fourth layer, which is going to be our vegetable oil, but what's probably going to happen is it will move up and become our top layer, but we're adding it right now. So we'll just go ahead and pour that in. Once again, very slowly. Now you can't really color vegetable oil. So it's just gonna have like a nice blue hue maybe from the layer below it. But regardless, it's probably gonna be just a little yellow, but that's okay. This one's my favorite layer because you can really see how the vegetable oil, is not mixing with the water at all. It's sitting completely on top. Isn't that so cool? All right, our fourth layer. That's exciting. Okay, so our fourth layer is Twilight. Put that right there. All right, but if you can see, the Twilight is below the vegetable oil because our layers are going to move up. You'll see here again. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you about the Sunlight layer, which is the top layer. Ooh. So what we're actually seeing right now is a in-between step because my alcohol, which is the next thing I'm going to pour in there for our layer, is most likely going to move under the vegetable oil. So it'll move it up. So we'll see. And make it the Sunlight. This will move up and make it the Sunlight layer. So let's see. Very slowly pouring it in. All right, I think that's all we have. All right, so it's kind of hard to see, but we do have 5 layers. So our first layer is this darkest layer, which is the trench. You can see over here. And then we move up to the dishwashing soap, which is our abyss. Now, unfortunately, the water layer wasn't light enough, but that is our next layer, which is midnight. And then if we move up just a little bit more in this clearer spot, that's going to be our Twilight. And then at the very top is our Sunlight coming through. And I'm going to put this down here and show you more clearly on my big jar. So here you can see the multiple layers, just like that. Isn't that cool? Okay, well, I hope you guys had fun. I know that was just a bunch of me pouring, but those are the 5 layers of the ocean, and I hope you enjoyed our time together. And hopefully I can bring you some more exciting, fun things for us to do and learn about. Love you all. Bye.